Early reports are already indicating that Minnesota Vikings quarterback Sam Darnold, who has clearly had the best season of his NFL career, could be making bank this offseason. An early report comes from the Pioneer Press's Charlie Walters. And the report says that his contract could be worth at least $50 million a season over 3 or 4 years, with at least $100 million guaranteed. Charlie Walters says Vikings quarterback Sam Darnold could be cashing in this offseason. That's the market these days for competent NFL quarterbacks. Is Sam Darnold worth $50 million a year? Is he worth $100 million guaranteed? It's hard because, he has played very good this season. But aren't other teams out there curious that he's played well for the Minnesota Vikings with Justin Jefferson, with Jordan Addison, with Aaron Jones, with Kevin O'Connell, and with the Minnesota Vikings defense playing out of their mind? Doesn't some sense of other teams around the National Football League believe that Sam Darnold's play is partly because of his ability he's shown with the Minnesota Vikings? Meaning, the Minnesota Vikings situation is so good, so ripe for a quarterback to have his best season of his career, that could be why? Or are other teams' egos so huge that they believe they could replicate Sam Darnold's success with the Minnesota Vikings with their own franchise and organization? Now, that's probably true. These guys that run NFL franchises, that are head coaches, believe every year that their team could be the one that gets it done. And they believe that they have the talent, the abilities. That's partly why they are where they are, because they had a belief that they could get to where they are. But also, they have a belief that it gets them where they are, and it doesn't necessarily mean they see everything objective. It means that they believe they are God's greatest creation ever. So his blessing is also somewhat of a curse in that situation. To understand the situation fully, I think we need to compare Sam Darnold to another quarterback in the NFL currently that's a starting quarterback that has bounced around the league similarly to Sam Darnold. This player was a top pick. This player has played for multiple teams already. He's already on his 4th team, just like Sam Darnold is on his 4th team. And if you're wondering, who's this guy? Who's the starting quarterback? Maybe you know it. Baker Mayfield, drafted number 1 by the Browns, didn't work out there. Goes to the Panthers, doesn't work out there. Plays a few games for the Rams, doesn't work out there. Signs a deal with the Buccaneers, battles it out in camp to be QB1, takes the Buccaneers to the playoffs, wins a playoff game against the Philadelphia Eagles, and then Baker Mayfield signs a big contract extension with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And here are Baker Mayfield's contract terms per spot track with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He signed a 3-year, $100 million contract. Signing bonus, $28 million. Guaranteed at signing, $40 million. And total guaranteed is $50 million. So, after one really good season for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, following years of struggles with the Browns, Panthers, and Rams, Baker Mayfield got the bag. I am not doubting that Sam Darnold will get paid this offseason either by the Minnesota Vikings or by another team in this league, specifically a team like the Raiders who will need a quarterback. You're not bringing Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew back. And they have good opportunities there. They drafted that tight end. That's pretty good. Brock Powers. They have other wide receivers on the roster that are decent. They got Devontae Adams if they don't trade him before the trade deadline. There's other teams out there too that think they're a quarterback away from being good. The Raiders have a good defense. It seems like it would be a logical fit for Sam Darnold to play for the Raiders next year. But are you really going to give him $50 million a year to a guy that has proven he's capable of being a good quarterback with the best wide receiver in football, with the best second wide receiver in football, with a top running back in football? His next contract could be worth at least $50 million a season over 3 or 4 years, with at least $100 million guaranteed. Baker Mayfield only got $50 million guaranteed. I don't think Sam Darnold is going to get $100 million guaranteed. We also need to consider the whole source. I am not doubting Charlie Walters' sources because I believe he's got sources. He's been a sports columnist for a long time. But he was the same guy that was reporting that Minnesota Vikings could trade Justin Jefferson in the offseason. And I'm not doubting the report of a Justin Jefferson trade. I'm doubting the sources that he got it from. I don't believe his sources were within the Minnesota Vikings organization. I believe the sources were from other organizations that were trying to trade for Justin Jefferson. And then he reported as, Vikings could ship Justin Jefferson. No, that was never a consideration by Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah. And I get GM spiel bull crap all the time, left and right and down the middle, up and down. But you are not trading your wide receiver one, Justin Jefferson, when you just drafted a J.J. McCarthy to be your QB1. And when you just brought in Sam Darnold, who needs all the help he can get at the wide receiver position. It just made no sense from the Minnesota Vikings perspective. So the source came within a different organization that was trying to acquire Justin Jefferson. It doesn't mean that the Minnesota Vikings were trying to trade him. There's a massive difference there. And I'm sure you all can understand that. So the source also has to be considered. I don't think Sam Darnold is going to get $100 million guaranteed this offseason. I don't think it's going to be close to that. $50 million a year over 3 or 4 years? That is a lot of change to give Sam Darnold. There's a lot of season left to be played. Who knows how he's going to perform in the second half of the season? His last 6 quarters haven't been very good. The second half against the Green Bay Packers and the entire game against the New York Jets were not good football for Sam Darnold. He missed throws left and right. But, hey, when he needed to, he still led a game-sealing drive field goal for Will to throw at the end of those games. But let's just get through the season. But I don't like that. Let's not just get through the season. Sam Darnold is not going to get paid $100 million guaranteed this offseason. It just ain't going to happen. I don't see it. So, is he going to get paid more than he's getting paid now? $10 million a year? Yes. Is he going to get $50 million a year? No. I don't see it. But maybe there's a team out there stupid enough that would be willing to give Darnold a 4-year, $50 million a year deal because they think they can take what he did with Minnesota and do it with their own organization.